Hi, I'm Kevin Hill, and welcome back to another episode of our beautiful autumn painting together. Now this time we're going to do our highlight and detail episode, which should be a lot of fun. Of course, if you're enjoying these, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Let's get started. Now I'll start by loading my detail round here with some red and yellow. That creates a beautiful soft, well actually vibrant orange, not so soft. And we're finally going to work on our trees up here. We're going to make them nice and beautiful with open leaves, not too many. Now we have an interesting thing because this background is very dry, been dry for weeks. So when you put this color up here, it's going to be pure. So you don't want to just go in with the same color. See, normally you can kind of go in with the same color, you don't have to change it up as much. But you got to change the color every couple seconds because it's not going to mix with anything. If this were wet, you'd get variations of brown and green as well as your orange, which would be really kind of nice. We're not going to get that today. So you have to paint a little differently. There. I want these extremely loose and open. I don't want much happening. Now I'm going to go ahead and just drop in what feels like a couple of leaves sitting here. I've got just this is our color we were using for the trees. I threw a little brown into it to make it feel more shadowed, more like a dry leaf. And these maybe are a little more pretty. And I'm just going to throw these down here on the ground. Obviously, there's a lot of wind when it comes to fall time. So, they don't need to be like in a circle around the tree. That would be kind of silly. But, just sparse and kind of sprinkled around here and there is fine. Just don't get them too dense in one area. Keep them nice and sparse. All right, there we go. Yeah, I like that. That feels pretty good. Feels like autumn to me, which is exactly, of course, what we're going for. We can highlight the grass on top of these. There, and kind of bury them down a little more. That's fine. That's cool. Nice. Now we've really ignored this part of the painting for a long time, this little path over here. We haven't even mentioned it hardly. But I want to go ahead and place just a touch of highlight, not much. I'm going to do a little more brown, I think. Yeah, just a little bit of highlight, not a lot. Because I want it to stay kind of quiet. In fact, if nobody ever notices it, that'd be just okay with me. It would be fine because it's not the point of the painting. I say this like every week, but if somebody looks at this painting and sees the path first and says, what a nice painting of a path, we did something very wrong. So just keep it subtle. There. All right. Nice. Okay, that's subtle. Maybe even subtle it up just a little bit more. It is not the point. There. Yeah, that's better. Okay, I can play with that more later, but at least it gets it in there. Gotta at least mention it. Okay, 3/4. And our brown and our yellow, which is getting kind of messy, and some of this over here to create what feels like a highlight color for our trees. I'm going to place this right along the edge. It's finally time to highlight our trees. They're not too bright. There, just a little. And kind of run it up and down. Remember, this tree is dry, so it's going to be different. I know I'm not used to painting dry. There. Boy, one thing, it does not blend. It just stays where you put it. There. Good, and you can kind of use your brush maybe to just touch in a couple of limbs. There. Nice stuff. That's great. Now I'll pick up a nice light color here on our detail round brush. Maybe a little more white into that. Okay, great. And right back here, I want to think about just a couple of highlights on the rocks or whatever. Doesn't matter. There, I just need some color back here because we don't want our little painting here to be flat, even in the background. As you can see, I worked just a little detail on the rocks, which it needed quite a bit, really. There. And I put some blue on the other side of the trees. That was also important, something that it needed. There. So those are all little things, very little things, easy, but they make a difference, so it's worth doing. Gonna kind of touch on a couple of highlights here, which just makes it feel like there's action back there. There. Let's grab a little bit of our blue and white. And this is dry. I've said it many times, but it's going to be a little different. Not so easy to blend. There, good. So I'm just creating a little bit of light sparkling back there. I may need to rub it with a filbert or something that's dry, just to, just a clean dry filbert to kind of blend it a little. Spread the paint around, but that looks decent. Great. It makes it feel a little wetter back there. Okay, let's think about some highlight now. Grab a little blue and white. A little highlight here, right, coming across. Right on top. I'm gonna go even more white. Nearly pure white. Now using the filbert brush, I'm going to blend and soften just a couple of these areas, especially back here. Now I've picked up just the tiniest bit of paint on my brush from the canvas, didn't load it, and this gives us a dry brush blending technique. This is something that you acrylic painters know what I'm talking about. There. You just deposit a tiny, tiny bit of paint across the area that you want to blend, and it makes it feel like it has a soft edge. There. All right. Maybe soften that edge right there. Good. So see, that just really feels softer now, which is what we wanted. And I like that. I'm going to leave the rest of the texture intact. Okay, set that brush down. And I already started playing around up here with a little bit of highlight. I'm going to do some more though. I've got a lighter color. Kind of outline maybe a little hollow spot there. This is good. Now I think this is going to be probably about as far as we get. We'll grab the liner brush, but then next time we'll finish it up. So we'll do kind of a part 2. We will put most of our time into detailing out and making this bridge just stunning. The bridge will become the focal point next week. And we'll pop it into a frame and see what it looks like. I'll start looking around for a good frame for this thing. There. One of the last things we're going to do up here today is create just a few limbs, not a ton, just a few, on these trees. There we go. This is kind of fun. I like the details. Details to me are just a ton of fun to do. Almost too much fun. You kind of get carried away. Paint too many limbs if you're not careful. This is one of the few things you can get over detailed with. I normally say you can't get over detailed, and it's really true, but if you do too many limbs, you can make it look so busy that you can't see anything else. The tree might look good, but it'll kind of make the rest of the painting suffer. There. So I'm going to really, especially in this painting, I want to hold off on doing too many limbs, and I'm going to keep the ones that I do pretty skinny. There. All right, well, that's all we're going to do in our little painting today. Now, there's no voting this week because next time we're going to detail out the bridge and maybe add just a few extra grasses to the foreground and then pop it in a frame and see what it looks like. I hope you had a lot of fun. Thanks for watching.